Today, we're about to dive into the ultimate recipe for soft, fluffy, and melt-in-your-mouth donuts. If you've ever wondered how to get that perfect airy texture you see in bakery donuts, where they're light, pillowy, and just the right amount of chewy, this is the video for you. I'll be sharing all my tips, from the ingredients to the frying technique, to make sure you end up with donuts that are pure cloud-like perfection. So, roll up your sleeves, grab your ingredients, and let's make some magic in the kitchen. Alright, first thing we're going to do is activate our yeast. Here's the trick. We're using 150 milliliters of lukewarm milk, and it should be warm to the touch, not hot. If it's too hot, it can actually kill the yeast, and if it's too cold, it won't activate. Think of it like a warm bath for the yeast, just cozy enough. Add in half of our sugar, about 15 grams. The sugar is like a little snack for the yeast, which helps it wake up faster. Now I'm adding 5 grams of active dry yeast. Give it a quick stir and let it sit for about 10 to 15 minutes. You want to see it foam up like a bubbly little cap. If that happens, you're good to go. If you don't see any foam after 10 minutes, double check your milk temperature or yeast freshness. A lot of people skip this check, but it's key for that perfect airy texture in your donuts. While the yeast is getting cozy, let's get our dry ingredients together. In a large bowl, we have 400 grams of bread flour. Bread flour really gives the donuts that nice chew and soft texture, way better than all-purpose for donuts. We're also adding the rest of our sugar and 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Mixing these thoroughly now, make sure the sugar and salt are evenly spread throughout the dough, which is actually a little trick to keep each bite flavorful. If you're looking for even softer donuts, you can add a spoonful of potato. I know it sounds a bit odd, but it actually makes the dough extra soft and tender. Now that our yeast mixture is foamy and ready, we'll add in 2 medium eggs. Give it a quick mix together. Eggs are what give the donuts a nice richness, which means that soft, pillowy texture. Time to bring it all together. Add the wet ingredients to the dry ingredients. And if you're using a dough mixer, knead on low for about 4 to 5 minutes until it's just starting to come together. The dough might look a bit sticky, but that's totally fine. You want it slightly tacky. It's what helps keep the donuts soft and tender. If you're kneading by hand, resist the urge to add too much flour. Sticky dough at this stage is good. Adding too much flour can make the donuts tough, so only sprinkle a tiny bit if it's impossible to work with. Now here's where we add our secret weapon, soft unsalted butter. We're using 40 grams, and instead of adding it all at once, add it gradually while kneading. This helps it blend better and creates that soft, elastic dough we want. Once all the butter is in, continue kneading for another 15 minutes. I know that sounds like a lot, but trust me, this is what makes the dough super smooth and stretchy. Here's a little test to check if the dough is ready. Take a small piece and stretch it gently. If you can see light through it without it tearing, you've nailed it. This is called the window pane test and means your dough has developed enough gluten for that fluffy texture. Now we're ready to let the dough rest. Cover it up and put it in a warm place for about an hour or until it's doubled in size. A warm spot helps the yeast work its magic faster. If your kitchen is on the cooler side, just pop the bowl in the oven with the light on. No heat, just the light. It creates the perfect warm environment for the dough to rise. Once the dough has doubled, it's time to shape it. Punch it down gently to get rid of excess air. It's time for the fun part, shaping the donuts. When it comes to shaping donuts, feel free to get creative. Donuts can be shaped however you like, there's no wrong way. But here I am doing classic shape 1. Easy one, just roll out the dough to about 1/2 inch thickness, then use a round cutter for the donut and a smaller cutter for the hole. Avoid re-rolling scraps too many times, as this can make them tough. But one time is fine. Try to cut as many donuts as you can on the first rollout for the best texture. Place the cut donuts on a lined tray and leave for a second rise about at least 1 hour. They should be puffy and light to the touch. After our second rise, the donuts are beautifully puffed up and ready for the final touches. Now, if you want that classic donut shape with a hole in the middle, take a small cutter and gently make a hole in each one. If you prefer them without a hole, feel free to leave them as is. After shaping, let them rest for about 10 more minutes to relax the dough. While our donuts are resting for those last 10 minutes, start heating your oil to around 150 degrees Celsius to 160 degrees Celsius. This slightly lower frying temperature helps us get that soft, pillowy texture inside. Let the oil come to temperature while our donuts finish resting, and we'll be all set for frying. Now that our donuts have had a final rest and our oil is at the right temperature, it's time to fry. This is where all the effort comes together. Carefully place a few donuts into the oil, leaving space between them. You don't want to overcrowd the pan because it lowers the oil temperature, which can lead to greasy donuts. Fry for about 2 minutes on each side. They should puff up nicely and start to develop a beautiful light golden color. As each batch finishes, place the donuts on a wire rack or paper towels to drain off any excess oil. The wire rack keeps them from sitting in oil, which helps them stay light and airy rather than soggy. If you like sugar-coated donuts, give them a roll in granulated sugar while they're still warm so the sugar sticks perfectly. For glazed donuts, let them cool slightly before dipping so you get an even coating without melting the glaze too much. Alright, let's go over a few quick tips to make sure your donuts come out perfectly soft and fluffy every time. First, keep your milk just warm, not too hot. As you're mixing the dough, resist the urge to add extra flour if it's sticky. Just lightly flour your hands instead. When it's time to rise, make sure to give the dough a second rise after shaping. That's what makes them light and fluffy. And when frying, go in small batches to keep the oil around 160 degrees Celsius so the donuts cook evenly without soaking up too much oil. Once they're done, let them drain on a wire rack to keep them nice and light. And there you have it, soft, fluffy, melt-in-your-mouth donuts, just like from a bakery. Try these tips and see the difference for yourself. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and let me know in the comments how your donuts turned out. Thanks for watching.